Hi there, thanks for stopping by. This is Hamza Zawali from Name Your Career for another live show. Now, I have received quite a few questions from different people, followers and various members of the group. And I wanted to share my answers with absolutely everyone. I think these are very, very good questions. Thank you so much, by the way, for asking them. And hopefully you will really benefit from the answers. So let's begin. Without further ado, let's begin. How early should I define a career plan? Sorry for the mistake. A career plan without S there. Apologies for this. How early should I define a career plan? How early should I have a career plan? This is, my answer is gonna probably surprise you, because I'm not so fond of a career plan. You see, in my mind, not in my mind, in my experience, people have this in their mind when they plan for their career. They imagine this, and then it goes like this, and then I move here, and then I go here, and then I go here, and everything is aligned, everything is perfect. The reality is that it's a little bit like this. It's not exactly how we plan. Why? For so many reasons. But number one, we change. What we planned before when, say, I was 25 is not the same as when I'm 35. What I liked before is no longer true. I changed. So how can you plan on something that's moving? It's very, very hard. Okay? What you want to do is always plan, but just for a short while. Ask yourself, do I see my next 5 years doing this? Do I see myself becoming an expert in this? That's a good question. Another area is that the market changes. If you're in IT, for example, a lot of the things that you're doing, softwares or programs or whatever, are going to be irrelevant in 10, 15 years. It depends. A lot of jobs are going to disappear in 10, 15 years. It really, really, really depends. So the market changes. There's new jobs all the time. So you've got, don't be stuck into a plan. Don't be afraid if you don't have one. Don't be afraid if you don't have one. What's important is that you like what you're doing and you see a future in what you're doing. That's it. But whether this future is the next 2, 3, 5 years or the next 25 years, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't be afraid to not fit in because you don't have a plan. That's my point, because things are much more complicated than that. First, you want to make sure that you work within your talent zone. There are things that you're not good at and things that you are very, very good at. Make sure you work in your talent zone. Okay? Now, a talent is something that you're very good at, that you enjoy naturally. You're born like this. We immediately notice this when we go to school, for example. Some topics are very interesting to us and some others are not. But then every now and then you realize that a good teacher in the not so interesting topics make the topic bearable and perhaps actually interesting. So you see how things are complicated. But your talent zone is really where, defined by the work that you do with the least amount of effort. The work that you do with the least amount of effort. Okay? So if you do quality work with the least amount of effort, that's your talent zone. And by the way, a talent is not a job or an industry or a sector. People say, I want to work in blah, blah, IT or in this or in that. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If your talent is with leading people, is building relationships, you could work in sales, you could work in counseling, you can work as a coach, you can, there's so many areas where you can work and exercise this and practice your talent, okay? The other thing is your contribution. It's not about your career plan. No, it's what your legacy. Fast forward 40 years, 30 years, 50 years from now. even 100 years from now, when it's time for you to leave this earth, what's your legacy? What would you want to leave behind that really created an impact in other people's lives? When you go home after one day of work, what would make you smile? What would make you proud? Others, your contribution, your mission. You know, connect your talent zone with your contribution and mission, and choose an area where you're going to practice these two. That's going to be your job, your career. Your career is just a vehicle. But remember the bigger picture. The bigger picture. Your inner talent, everyone is talented in something. At least something. Everyone. Okay? Is not there because of randomness. You're here for a purpose. If you're not in the right job, if you're not exercising your talent, then you're probably depriving a lot of people. And that's your mission. That's your contribution. What's your contribution to humanity, to your clients, to your colleagues, to your company? To society? What's your contribution? If you are to write a book at the end of your career, on what topic would you write it? You see, think in these terms, you will find your career path. You will adapt and adjust to the changes of the market. Okay, the market is always going to change, but one thing that is going to remain is really your talent zone. You're going to discover new talents, by the way, and your contribution. As long as you stick to that, you will be able to adapt to what's available in the market. It's a little bit like you're sailing a boat. The market is only the sea. So you don't try and say, oh, my direction is this and I want to go there. Yeah, that's fine, but the sea sometimes changes. There's things that just don't work out. You receive a phone call, radio call that says, hey, you can't go into this port. You have to change direction. That's just life. So very, very important actually, where don't make a career plan a headache. Make it just have a rucksack and walk through life. You know, it's okay to know what's going to happen or what you want in the next foreseeable future, but not your entire career. Okay? How early should I define a career plan? You should define bits of career plans throughout your career. So even if you are 40, 45, 50, what do you want to do the next 2 years, 5 years? What's your contribution? Where is your talent? What's the reality of the market? So what can you do? I hope it makes sense. You know, a lot of people say, oh, but it doesn't fit with my major at school. Who cares? Who cares? We have to disconnect what you learn at school with real life opportunities. Opportunities will come to you, and sometimes with our mindset, because we're going to have such a narrow vision based on this preconceived idea that you should really have a career within your major, we just don't see the opportunities. Narrow vision. Opportunities come here, we don't see it. Oh, that's outside my vision. That's such a shame. That's such a shame. The one thing that is sure and certain is that you're going to have tons of opportunities. So you have to really think like this. A lot of people discover entrepreneurship, for example, only after years. Because, well, they studied literature or history or whatever, and they never saw themselves as entrepreneurs, only to discover after 20, 25 years that actually they can be entrepreneurs and they would enjoy it. My point is be aware of what's going on in the market, the changes, etc., and the changes within you, your contribution, and then adapt, constantly adapt. So how early should I define a career plan? If you're 3 years old, you already have a career plan. When I grow up, I want to be a policeman, a teacher, whatever. Okay? And these things change. And if I'm 50 years old, I'll probably tell you, no, now I'm no longer coach. I want to be a university lecturer. Maybe. I want to write a book. That's my career. I want to be an author. a writer, perhaps. It doesn't matter. Be free. You only have one career. Don't be stuck into that concept of, ooh, you have to follow the path. You have to have a career plan. If you don't have a plan, you're dead. It's okay to have a plan just for the foreseeable future. I hope it answers your question. If you have more questions, don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate. You can send me an email. You can find me on Facebook under the group Name Your Career. On Name Your Career, we actually have live shows every single week. So join my group on Name Your Career. You can also go to nameyourcareer.com for my website, where you'll find tons of videos. I have a YouTube channel where you should really subscribe, because I'm just going to keep on answering questions. I'm just going to keep on giving and giving and giving, because I love it. Okay, so hopefully you will benefit from there, from these advice and tips. Yalla, until next time, thank you so much one more time. And I wish you the very, very best, and hope to catch up with you very soon. And don't hesitate, if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate at all. And please leave a comment, because that actually motivates me when I see the contribution, the impact that I'm creating on people's lives. That actually motivates me to do these free videos. Yalla, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye bye.